Can I ask you first about an interview that Ivan Toney's given to us on the issue of some of the racist abuse he's suffered? And Brentford have taken a lead on this as well, in full fairness to you and the club. He says he believes it's just a gesture to make football's bosses rest easy now, the taking of a knee. And he also said that he hasn't shouted about the racist abuse he's had online because he doesn't believe it's going to change, but it has deeply affected him. I mean, that's all very disturbing, and he's one of your most important players, and he's a really good guy. I wonder, when you hear him speak like that, how much it hurts you.
Of course, it hurts me every single time if one of my players get racial abused or discriminated or having problems in their private life or whatever it can be, because we care about the individuals in our club, and speaking about Ivan, of course, I just I really can't get my head around racism, but or discrimination in any part. The flip side is that he got a strong mentality, and he will get through this. No doubt about that. But as we all know, it's a broader society question we need to deal with.
I mean, he says he wants the legal system to make punishments more severe. Is that something you'd support? And talking of support, how can the club support Ivan with all of he's going through at the moment? I mean, do you offer counselling, or do you just try and talk to him as a manager?
No, I think we try to do it, as you say, speak to him as a manager, but more important as just a person. Try to have as good as a conversation you can have about that. I think that's the most important thing, and say that I support him, the club support him. I know he feels that, and we'll do everything we can to support him or any player that experience things like this. I think that's very important, and I also think that it's not only the social media companies, but in general society need to be very, very harsh on this subject.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Let's talk football then. It's very tight at the top now. How do you see the battle for automatic promotion right now? For the neutrals like us, it's really exciting. I wonder what it's like from a manager's point of view.
I think in the championship, especially, we all know that this promotion race will go down to the final day of the season, more or less. I can't see that not happening. In terms of us, we just need to focus on the next game. You so easily get dragged away from being extremely focused now, because your mind start traveling. No, it's about what we can do today and what we can affect. So that's the most important thing, and what we can affect was having a good training today and prepare well for a game tomorrow and do everything we can to get 3 points.
It's been an extraordinary run that you were on. Winning 8 games out of 9 is a heck of a run in this division, and with how quickly the games were coming. And then 2 consecutive defeats. I guess that's pretty inevitable in the Championship, isn't it? But how do you prevent a little blip like that becoming a bigger slump?
I think it's be aware of the basics, be aware of the main principles. So first and foremost, the main bit we're talking a lot about is, keep showing that attitude where we are confident but humble for the next game. Keep putting a lot of hard work into every session and every game. Keep reinforcing that unique togetherness as a team on and off the pitch, and put all that together, then you'll get a performance. And then we talk about the style of play principles we have on and off the ball, and you try to reinforce the most important parts there. That's the main thing. Then we're talking, of course, a little bit. Remember, we're a good team. If that order of the 2 defeats had been after 7 games and then after 17 games, nobody would have talked about it. Now it's because we won that many games, we won, and it's football and it's the Championship, so it's so fine margins. So we know there's not one team, as far as I know, the last 10 years who haven't suddenly, maybe not 1, 2 games in a row, or 3 games, or 4 games, even the teams that in the end got promoted.
Good man. Last one from me. I'll let the other guys talk to you about the specifics of Coventry and that sort of thing. But we've mentioned Ivan Toney already, and just the incredible humility and maturity he's shown in dealing what he's dealing with off the pitch. On the pitch, he's still extraordinary. I mean, 24 goals now this season, with him scoring in midweek. Do you think Brentford have to win promotion to keep him beyond the summer?
Very good question. Ask me after the next 16 games. Of course, he's doing very well and he's done very well. But right now, I'm not focusing on the transfer market. In the summer, I'm only focusing on tomorrow's game. But of course, he's done well.
It's a really good answer. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, Thomas. How are you?
I'm good, Ian. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. I want to ask a similar question, actually. Not only about Ivan Toney, but Josh Da Silva, maybe Ethan Pinnock. I mean, is this the last go for this team to get promoted?
I don't know. That's the honest answer. I really don't know. I just know one thing. These boys are working so hard and working so hard for each other with unbelievable determination, and it's a joy to be part of. And I'm really enjoying that every single day. And tomorrow we're playing against Coventry, and we like to get back on track and get 3 points. So that again, it's not to be rude or anything. Ask me that question in the middle of the season. Hopefully, we're an easy one to answer. If not, then let's take it there.
All eyes of late, though, have been on Josh Da Silva and Ivan Toney, haven't they? Because of the form they've been in.
Yeah, of course. We know Josh is a very good example of what we like to do here at Brentford. We try to recruit very talented and promising young players from different clubs, and then we know that the way we do it here with the development plans we have, and the way we try to develop people also, they have a good chance to go to the next level. And he's been remarkable in that aspect, just putting layers and layers and layers to his game. But it's still bits he can learn, definitely. Ivan was, used to play men's football for 2 years in League One, took a natural step up to Championship, and he looks like he's been playing Championship football the last 10 years. It's very smooth transition, just giving us so much, not only his goals, but also assist, link-up play, personality, mentality, leader. Very pleased with both of them.
Will tomorrow provide you with the answer to this question, I wonder? You were so close last year to getting promoted. Arguably, if you'd have won at Stoke or even won on the last day against Barnsley, you'd have gone up. I suppose some people will be wondering whether or not this season you've got in a great position and the same thing might happen. It might just slide away from you. I wonder whether this game at Coventry will provide you with that answer.
I don't think so. I think if we win, I think everyone will think, Brentford back on track. If we get a draw, it's like, if they lose, they know a wobble, they're bottling it or whatever they're talking about. But we have 16 games left. We have 48 points to play for. And if you look at all the games we played this season, I would say there's only Preston and Stoke where we saw something we normally don't see in this team, and we didn't even see that last year. Yes, I know Stoke Barnsley was a crazy experience, kind of, but after that, the performance we showed against Swansea in the semi-finals and the final against Fulham were, up there, nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, we didn't make it. Football margins that need to be a team that are losing. But I just I understand the question. I really understand it. I just see a different team and I think they're so determined. They have learned another experience. So I think we're absolutely good, no matter if we are losing, drawing, or winning tomorrow. Of course, I prefer to win to get back on track. But this is a season that will go right down to the end. I'm down on that.
Just a couple more. First of all, Coventry, is this a good game for you or a dangerous game? Because for them, it's a bit of a free hit. I mean, they're in relegation trouble, but whether they stay up or not is not going to be defined by how well they do against you. So they may as well have a go. But for you,
yeah. So I agree. I also I don't really know the answer to this one, because I'm so also. Would it be better to play Watford or whatever a top 6 team? I'm literally very much in doubt about that. Because every game is a different task, different style of play we need to handle, different mentality, focus points. The one thing I know is that I agree with you. I've also read the press from Mark Robbins that that they will come out flying, and he says that he knows that we need to bounce back. So maybe it'll just be a big clash, and then see who stands in the end of the game. We are ready for no matter what they throw against us.
I want to ask one last question, which is not really about football, and that's the question actually. With players being racially abused online, with the pandemic and you being asked questions nearly every week about COVID and about protocols, in a sense, as the last year, and I've got to know you, I think, pretty well, you're a deep thinking man. Has the last year been almost these press conferences, less and less questions about tactics, about football, about whether or not the goalkeeper's playing well or Ivan Toney's going to score, and more about you having to answer and field questions on off the field matters?
That's a good question. I think you're right. Of course, because we are in a pandemic, I agree that there's a lot of things we need to be aware of. Every manager, every player, every staff member, because there's a pandemic surrounding us, and we need to cope with that. It's crazy. I spoke to my my grandmother the other day. She's 95. So we spoke a little bit about the pandemic, and she experienced the Second World War, which is crazy. That's 5 years, where you can't live a normal life. And we experienced this in a year, and it's close to be a normal life. So the crazy thing is that people cope with new things, different obstacles or new challenges thrown against you, and but it's not the same that it's easy. So I understand why press conferences are focusing more on that. It's definitely something we're aware of, also with younger players being alone, but their free space is when they're coming into the club, because now else they go home to their own apartment and they sit there, and then what do they do? Watch telly, Netflix, or PlayStation, being a little bit on the phone. So of course it's different. And also I agree, I think actually this online abuse is getting a bit worse and worse. It should be like this. If you don't have anything good to say about people, don't say anything. People need to be raised to do that.